Great story, Storm. Thank you.
Lifelong Sooners for sure.
Yeah.
Jed, good morning. It's about 5:20, and boy, it's going to be kind of a tricky day out there.
Yeah, so folks waking up, seeing if the conditions have changed at all. They really haven't. Things look to be as strong, maybe just a notch stronger for those storm chances. So let's give you a timeline how this is going to play out. Warm, breezy out the door this morning. Really not a big problem with anything going on. If you have plans to be out and about, you're good here out the door this morning. Maybe a brief shower, maybe a stray thunderstorm, but chances overall are low. Storm chances really get going this afternoon. I think after 4 o'clock for the Oklahoma City area, really starting just west of Oklahoma City, those will move in late afternoon into the evening. And if there's going to be a risk for severe weather, when I would say if you're going to be out, I would not be out at this time. If you're going to can get home before 4 o'clock, that's going to be the wisest thing to do. And your kids have maybe some late day activities. I would cancel those and get ready to go because the storms coming in have a chance for tornadoes, very large hail, and high winds. So 4 p.m. on is the time frame we'll be watching that risk of severe weather. So where to watch us? A lot of ways to watch us here on News 9. Now that everything's digital, you have a lot of avenues to get that, and you want to make sure you're plugged in. Make sure your phone is plugged in, because if you can't watch us on News 9, you can go to other areas to watch us from social media, to Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick. Again, News 9, news9.com, the weather app are going to be your truest ways to watch us here on News 9 here coming up for today. So remember, if there is a tornado, and that's going to be a possibility, and that tornado warning sounds, what do? You make sure you're downstairs, you're underneath something, center part of the house, keep away from windows. So the middle part of the house, lowest level, put as many walls between yourself and the outside, and into your bathroom, into your closet. That's where you want to be here coming up for today, because the storms that fire up could be pretty mean. We'll talk about some large hail, baseball-sized hail, winds to 75, tornadoes possible, and that covers a large chunk of Oklahoma. Now, not everybody will see it. Storms that will form will be scattered, but those storms that do develop have a chance of creating that higher threat. And right now, the data suggests and continues to suggest really the Oklahoma City area, from Kingfisher to Clinton, back over to Stroud, even Stillwater, this is kind of a primed zone for the highest threat for those tornadoes. But saying that, if you live outside of that, don't take this lightly. Take it seriously, because there's a risk elsewhere over the state, from the Kansas all the way to the Texas border. So be paying attention here later today. If you don't see tornadoes, that hail's a possibility. Maybe a few tennis ball, baseball-sized hailstones today, and a few gusts 75, maybe near 80 going into the afternoon. Right now, the storm system is just toward west. We do have an initial line of storms kind of moving ahead of that dry line now in parts of the Panhandle area. These are not severe, but they're kicking up some rainfall, higher rain content, and some storms there just west of Hollis. This is just north of the Childress area. If those were to be severe, that's where the greatest risk would be out the door this morning. But we're just talking wind and hail starting off this morning. 64 south winds at 10 miles per hour. Forecast just a brief chance of a shower coming up this morning. Don't see anything major there. We'll be 72 at lunchtime, mid-70s, closing on 80 during the afternoon as storm chances go up. Starting about 4 o'clock on, be paying attention here in Oklahoma City. Southeast winds picking up about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mid-60s around right now, so it's a warm start this morning. Looking for the storm chance to develop, and by about 6 o'clock, they'll be riding right along I-35. Scattered storms, and just to let you know, there is data that shows even more numerous storms around. At the same time, seeing some data that doesn't show anything at all. So we'll have to watch it. I mean, the conditions are primed. We're sitting on that powder keg for those storm chances from 6 p.m. on. So be paying attention. Hopefully don't have any bad weather, but it looks like we will. So that's the forecast today. Into tonight, things will quiet back down. But we're watching more rain and storms tomorrow. They'll start about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and those will get going through central into east Oklahoma. Those could also be severe. So watching maybe what'll be a double round of severe weather today and tomorrow. 70s and 80s here today as we check out your weather overnight tonight. 50s out behind that dry line. A lot of 60s and 70s ahead of it. That dry line shoves into central Oklahoma. Rain and storms will develop along and ahead of that, and that could be severe as well. Large hail, damaging winds, tornadoes possible. Watching areas especially through central and east Oklahoma. After Friday, we'll calm it down a little bit, but still rain and storms look likely for graduation Saturday and Mother's Day Sunday. A few more chances continue on into next week. Keep those highs going in the 70s and the 80s. We'll be back coming up right after this.